Hello, everybody.
Hello.
I am glad that you're here. And I had a talk in mind about a week ago, and then I had another talk in mind a few days ago, and then another talk came to mind. But it all changed with the ever-evolving situation of the reality of things, the condition of things that appears to be reality today. And it very much has an effect on all of us. And I don't need to give it a lot of context. You all hear the context. But I will say that in a world where toilet paper and hand sanitizer are becoming hot black market commodities, toilet paper is not quite there yet, but hand sanitizer became a gray market or black market, carefully traded good. That's a crazy world. That's actually, Austin, would you do me a favor and turn the air conditioning off? Or is it...
get some heat.
Oh, is it cold?
Yeah.
Let's get some heat in. So, Austin, would you do me a favor?
I'm trying.
Would you do me a favor and turn the heat on? Good. So, in the craziness of the world, and I think that we have to acknowledge our feelings, scared, crazy, confused, in shock, right? It's like waking up in the morning going, oh, I forgot, is this really the way it is here? And having to find humor in this somehow. So I'll share my story of humor. I decided to go shopping last night at 11:30 at night. Some of you may have seen my Facebook post. Because I thought I was brilliant. Because I thought, oh, the peak shopping hours are going to be in the morning and in the afternoon, and people aren't going to want to go there at 11:30 at night. So I go into Safeway, and I'm pretty happy. I walk in, the aisles look fairly empty, I'm filling out my cart, and I come up to, there are people standing at the end of an aisle, and I'm like, why are these people congregating at the end of the aisle? And I realized they're in line. I said, they said, yeah, this is a line. I said, how long do you think it's going to take? An hour, I said? They said, oh, at least. So I wasn't even done getting my things yet. So I got in line, and within minutes, I had 15 people behind me in line. And some of them just had like 2 things, 4 people. And we bonded, actually. We had some fun. And we realized that we're stuck in this situation together. And being stuck in this situation together created kind of a, well, you're stuck with this person that's in front of you in line and behind you in line. And it really, usually, what's your experience? You don't talk to people, right? You may not talk to people. But here we were in this, we were in a liquor aisle, by the way. And no, we didn't go there. But we bonded, and finally everybody was threading through a single check stand because, see, the wisdom that I thought I had of going to shop at night was also in error because they shut down the self-check at 10 o'clock. And only one checker. They had like 20 people working the store, loading the shelves and doing refreshing the inventory, but they only had one checker. So that was a little ridiculous. But after a while, they opened up a second check stand. And some people were confused in terms of which one's going to be faster, which one's going to be faster. And the people in front of me that I had befriended, they said, stick with us. There's a good vibe here. And so I was thinking, yeah, that felt spiritual to me. They're like, stick with us, and I felt like protected. This is where I'm going to be protected with these people. And so I stuck with them, and I was out of there a little quicker than I thought. And it was just a kind of a dawning of the new reality, but it made me think about, what about the people in Chicago O'Hare Airport and Heathrow Airport last night who were packed in like sardines by the thousands? What about the people on the cruise ships? And there's another number of cruise ships that are searching for ports right now that will even take them. What are they going through? Because all they've got is maybe the gift store on the Carnival Cruise Line or whatever it is, And the food that they've got to trust that is prepared for them, if there's enough food, what are they going through in this moment? So in the cruise ships, in airports, in UK, in Spain, in Italy, where people are singing on the balconies to each other because they're cloistered into their houses. The people waiting in hospitals, those are the people that I thought of. How lucky was I to be stuck in the liquor aisle of Safeway, feeling sorry for myself for a moment, but then I realized there are people who are stuck for days in this situation where they feel helpless, right? So I felt lucky. And I realized that people can find solace in each other and gifts in everything. So here we are in this situation, and I'm going to ask a couple questions of you. One of those questions is, where is the gift in all of this? No matter how bad it seems like it's getting. Even a person who gets sick may ask themselves, where is the gift or the opportunity in this? The other question is, what about kindness? The Dalai Lama said, kindness is my religion. Right? I believe kindness, you could say that too about our religion. It's many things. You can describe it as kindness. That made me think about there's an ancient Hawaiian story about people of the world being on one big canoe, and they had to survive together in this microcosm of the world. We are in this canoe together. So in this canoe, we must share resources. In this canoe, we must help people who need help when we're stronger than they are. In this canoe, it's a we must get along and not fight because we don't want to throw someone off the canoe, right? So this really shrinks our world in an interesting way and creates this canoe that we're living in. This canoe that says, how do we treat each other? How can we exercise compassion? The other question is, what are we grateful for? And that came up in the meditation a little bit. What are we grateful for that we found anew in this situation? I was really grateful for my iPhone. I was really grateful that I could reach out and contact people. And I was so grateful that after I stuffed my freezer full of food, that the freezer was going to continue to work because the electric grid is still working. So grateful for running water, electricity, a phone. It starts to come back to the simpler things. So that's what I was grateful for. And the last question I will ask is, where is God in all of this? Or where is spirituality in this? And who are you as a spiritual being in this? And for me, I thought the simplest way to relate as a spiritual being that you relate every day is one person at a time. One person at a time. And what that transaction is like, one person at a time. And how are you a spiritual person who's exemplifying God and noticing that the other person is exemplifying God as well? So those are kind of my lessons for the week. Lessons that I forget sometimes, because I will say, and I said this to a small group the other night at the sacred, what was called the Sacred Circle at the time. It's not called Sacred Space. I said, spirituality, your feeling of closeness to God tends to wax and wane, doesn't it? It's not always there all of the time, the same intensity. At least for me, it's not. And so when I'm waning in moments of spirituality, it's waning in awareness, right? Awareness of how I'm being. Like, oh, I wasn't aware that I was being a jerk in that moment. I wasn't aware that I was hurting someone's feelings in that moment. So there's a chance for me, when I'm waning in spirituality, to notice and come back and to forgive myself for being, for being bad, right? And what I've been doing in those moments where I'm waning in my feeling of closeness to God is I just simply ask, Archangel Michael, help bring me closer to God. God, help me be closer to you. Because I know you're all in for me, so let me be all in for you.